Hi, today we will have a look inside this beautiful vintage, very vintage GVC FreeTube broadcast camera. It is the Kawai 310. As you can see, it is pretty big. I got this from the US on eBay, and it was almost free, or did only pay the shipping if I remember correctly. And it was a very good deal even with the shipping from the US, because it is a very collectible camera. So on the top we have a model and serial number. Serial number 138520089. So we have carry handle, accessory shoe, viewfinder mount here I believe. This box is actually the access to one of the free picture tubes. On the front we have some controls. So sadly this button is not original, it was missing. Auto shift and level indicator for white, auto white and auto black it seems. You can see most of the screws are Allen screws, proof of quality. I have the original lens cap that fits like so. Here the filters, control for the different filters. We have more controls at the bottom here. The main camera on off switch, eye sensibility level, iris level and white balance. And we have more stuff here, all the delicate settings for the colors it seems. Bars on off, which is always handy. The shoulder cushion here. At the bottom this is another access panel to one of the other picture tubes for allowing replacement of the tube. You just do 2 screws, it will flip open and you can access your picture tube. The other side, control for main, another control power button it seems. The main plug to the studio or camera, the camcorder. We have video, Genlock and test, fuse panel here. The microphone input is here, XLR input with a sensibility setting. Another one here. We have a viewfinder connector here, lens connector here. And this is a memory battery. Excuse me, it is not in the frame. Old school ever-ready photo battery, which I guess is long time flat. So why do we have a memory battery in an analog camera? I believe it is for kind of a white balance memory or something like this. Not sure in fact. So this thing is really well made for repair purpose. You have one panel each side, which you can open with one coin. There is this big coin compatible screws, so it will be really easy to open this side. The other side is a little bit more tricky. On the back, of course, we have the power input XLR and socket for extension as an intercom box for studio intercom. So what do we have? It is usually in display in my living room, this camera. So here are the insides. The panel has nothing, it is just die-cast aluminum. So you can see we have a whole bunch of stuff. First the filters module. It seems you can extract it and maybe replace it with another model of filter module. Yes, it is a filter wheel like so you can upgrade it if you want. It seems quite nice and really fast and easy to do, as you can see. So here we have what seems to be the front end from the picture tubes, I guess, which are located behind this. You can see we have a whole bunch of trimmers here. It is quite amazing, the number of trimmers. You have the all the circuit boards in plug-in modules. So first, I will try to flip open this thing. Here, this is the elapsed time indicator in the shape of a fuse. So if I remember correctly, it is just one screw to flip open this board. No, maybe not. Maybe we have more of them. But it should reveal the whole 3 tubes assembly, in fact. We have more screws to undo. So this is not gluing back correctly at all for some reason. We have brass standoffs and this should come off by now. Actually, we have a number of wires in the way. It should flip open, but I do not remember exactly how it is going. So I guess I will leave it alone. Or maybe I can just undo the connectors. Let me check. We have one here. Yes, it should be possible. One here. And yes, like so. So we don't not see much. Here is the 3 picture tube assembly with the precision settings for the position of the tubes. It is all made in die cast and you can see pretty serious shielding all over the place. So let me reinstall this, and rather we will have a look at these PCBs here. Okay, so we have here 10 PCBs with in modules with holes to pull them. So if I find a matching tool, I should be able to pull them out. They are not that easy to remove, so I will demonstrate with one. Okay, so here is what they look like. The first one, PR1 board assembly, a whole bunch of shielding. I can see 3 under this shielding, 3 ceramic ICs. Just a little board-to-board connector, and yes, we have surface mount parts. So not sure about how old is this device, but they were already using surface mount. You can see there is some Japanese writing here on the board. Quite unusual in fact to see this. You see Chinese writing a lot on cheap Chinese stuff, but Japanese written inside Japanese device. In fact, it is quite unusual. So the board will slide back nicely. You can see there is on this front piece there is a number of the board, and sometimes there is even a stripe in a diagonal, and you can immediately see if you did assemble something wrong, because there is also probably a mechanical features restricting to put the boards in the wrong place. Sorry for the noise outside. So this is the Auto Black. It seems, no, AW Auto White board. A few analog ICs, it seems, by Toshiba with the old Toshiba logo. LM358 by Texas. And two little surface mount ICs also, quite interesting. Do we have any dead code? I see 83 on here. So yes, might be from 1983. And you can see the cutout to accommodate the picture tube. There is one here, and one here. I was totally out of frame, so there is a first tube here, one here, one here. Next board. Still the same cutout deal. Some unpopulated spots on this one. Oh, quite a nasty work here. By the looks of it. It looks like this button was maybe replaced. This switch immediately. Next board is the last one with a cutout. Here we have what seems to be HDF, no clue what it means. High def board assembly. I am not sure what they are calling high definition here, because it is a standard definition camera, of course. Very Japanese parts, as you can see. And here is the back of the middle picture tube with a socket. Its socket. Next board is called AS. Lots of surface mount parts on the back on this one. More GVC surface mount chips. And a whole bunch of deal packages, ICs. Next board is called PR2 with a whole bunch of trimmers on the side. Nice layout here of the tracks, you can see. Since we have a number of parallel stages, so maybe a series of filters or something like this, I have no idea. The next is called CC. Here we have delay lines. 3 of them, it seems. So this thing is something else. There is a GVC sticker on it with a layer of insulating material to prevent it short-circuiting the next PCB. They did put some marker here, some informations to to hide them. Very nice little switch in here. And yes, delay lines. Maybe this is a quartz oscillator, not sure. There is a number of contacts going to this. This is a shielded box. And there is a sticker, so maybe there is another reference number on manufacturer number. And JVC did stick their own model number on them. On it. Next board is called EN. We have here what seems to be a wall very big delay lines or filter lines or anything else. Some black potted hybrid modules. OK one stamp. Next board is SJ with a lot of unpopulated place here. And some nasty rework evidence here. Yes, this it is again matching the switches. So seems they did replace several of them. The last board will be the power supply. This one I know, yes. We have one wire going to it and a very beefy power supply stuff. Big coils, big diode here for some reason. Capacitor which seems to be in a pretty bad shape, as you can see, because either we have black goop glue which is coming bad after years, and we have some kind of a white powder here at the end, so not sure if he did puncture the capacitor case. Yes, probably. And it is not sealed anymore, so it is probably bad. Little transformer here. Both wires on the back. Okay, so I will and there is an oxidized screw here at the back, not far from the location of this capacitor. So it seems that something did leak or did attack the screw. It is all rusty. Okay, so I will reinstall this panel on this side, and we will have a look at what we can see at the other side of the camera. So this is okay, very easy to do in fact, and you can see how fast I can reinstall this cover. There's a matter of fitting at the top and getting the screws in place. The screws are captive screws, so you cannot lose them, and there is also a spring, so they will pop out when they are unscrewed completely. So very nice design at this level. It is a TV studio grade camera, so it is too heavy to carry around, I believe. Well, maybe they did it at the time, but you have to add the weight of the VCR also, so not sure what should be the total weight with the VCR. Probably a lot, because this is already not far from 5 or 6 kilos probably. So okay, now the other side. So So same deal here, we have two screws we can undo. This will allow to remove this panel, which is blank at the back. And here in fact we are just revealing the nothing else but the motherboard of the camera, where the other boards we did check were connected. You can see how thick is the aluminum casting here at the top. So there is a sub module here, but it is a lot of screws to undo. And I believe we will see nothing but just the wires going to the plug here. Because we did already check by removing the PCBs. But we can undo this one. Maybe we will have a better view to the, I will put in this direction, a better view to the free tube assembly. So I have to find the correct Allen screw for this. I guess it is a regular number 3. Or 2.5 maybe. So this is obviously a part you are not supposed to access so often, because here we have no captive screws. But it is just 4 screws, and it should come off nicely. Yes, like this. So it is a little tedious because the wires are in the way. We have, as you can see, the battery holder. We have a little board for the interconnects of the plugs we have on here. And yes, we can see a lot better the 3 tubes assembly. So here in the middle you will have the prism assembly with locating pins inside. In fact, we have the 3 mounts to the 3 picture tubes, Viticon or something. This must be a light level sensor, or maybe the bias light to the picture tubes. So you know what? As it seems, we have locating pins, and it is not possible to reinstall this in a wrong way. It should be unadjusted and not work properly. We may try to undo these screws and have a look at the prism assembly. Anyway, this camera is not going to be used anytime soon, so the screws are not tight, so maybe I did already undo this. So about this little assembly here, we have very bad sticky tape. We have 2 little screws which will come off easily. And well, not sure what it is. We have some filter pieces, 3 of them, and yes, it is a bulb. So it is a biasing bulb for the tubes, because the Viticon tubes you have to put some light on the front for them to work properly. Oddly enough. And it is just a regular bulb, like the ones you could find in hi-fi equipment, for lighting the front panel in hi-fi equipment. So this is interesting, and here I did undo the 3 screws, so it may come off. 4 screws even. Yes. And here we are, guys, the prism assembly. So seems we have red on this side green here. Do I have a white piece of paper somewhere? And blue here. So, excuse me, 1 second. I will try to find something like this probably. It should be good enough. Yes, you can see it is green, blue and red. All is mounted, glued to this die-cast aluminium piece. So it seems we have a prism in 3 pieces, and they did add the filters over it, the color filters. And very nice machined surface here. And you can see some wires going to the front of the picture tubes. So either the high voltage wire supply to the picture tube, or wires going to the deflection coils or something like this. Okay, and here we just have a filter wheel. So this was interesting. And in fact, the locating pins, yes, they are stuck here, but they will fit these holes here, so it is nice. So no issue whatsoever here. Because if you want to access the picture tube, it is just a matter of doing in fact either this cover here or this cover here, and you can unscrew your picture tube and extract it for replacing. Okay, so I will put this all back together. Thanks for watching, bye bye.